So if you go to the tutorials point C sharp, on the left side you can see arrays. Okay, somewhere you can see arrays here on the C sharp oops and data handling. You can see the concept of arrays. Okay, so what do you know about arrays? So Sagar, what do you know about array? Please quickly unmute and you can speak. You know, whatever you know, that's okay. I am not expecting you to be perfect answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what do you know
I,
about arrays?
array is like collection of elements, collection of anything. Like
Okay. So like okay. And what about Oham?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Groups of elements or items.
Okay.
Uh,
So when we will use array?
uh, when we have more than one items, like we have three or four items of same category, like a same data type or integer.
Yeah.
So,
Then we go for the
then
arrays.
yes.
Okay. Then we go for the array. So suppose if somebody asks you what is an array, you tell that this is the. You tell that what is the usage. What is the usage? Okay. So when I see, you try to remember the definition from now onward. An array stores fixed size sequential collection of elements of same data type. Okay. Array is used to store collection of data, but it is often more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of same type of at continuous memory locations. So, okay, I will come back here. So, first of all, how will you declare? So, this is this syntax. We have to mention the data type, and we have to put the square brackets and object name. Okay.
Sir, you mentioned fixed size. Can
Yes.
you just elaborate it?
Yeah, I will come back.
Okay.
So data. So first, how to go it? So we have to mention. Uh, we have to mention the data type. So what is the data type? What are the data types are available? Can you be proactive and tell me?
Int,
Int.
string,
Okay. So now,
float.
yeah. So what is
Yeah.
this? Square brackets. So square brackets. And then what we have to give? We have to give the variable name. Okay. So student roll numbers equal to. So I have to mention the size, right? I have to mention the size, like a fixed size. So as we have seen here, it is a array is a fixed size. So we have to mention the size. So how to mention the size? So for that we have to initializing the array. So we have a multiple. So we have a multiple approaches. So first approach is data type, square brackets, variable name, this assignment operator. New is the keyword used for new is a keyword used for allocate to allocate memory. New keyword. I hope you can see it even when I zoom it. New keyword to allocate memory for its element. So suppose for example this is this new. sorry, it went like new. Okay, and we have to mention the same data type. We have to mention the same data type. Okay, and then again you have to put a square bracket, and how many student roll number you want to store it. Suppose for example 10, I have to give it 10. Okay, so whenever you are declaring, whenever you are defining the object, at that time itself you have to tell that I am going to store 10 data types. No, sorry, 10 values. I am going to store 10 values. I have to tell upfront. So I have to tell upfront. I have to tell that I am going to store 10 values. I cannot increase. Again, I cannot increase its size. Suppose I would define as a 10, and I want to store it 13 elements. No, I can't do that. Okay, so I can't do that. If you want to do that dynamic increase of this size, then you have to go for list or vector. You have to go for. Okay, so whenever you want a dynamic increase of size, then you have to go for the list. But if you want a fixed size, if you are confident that I am going to store only 10 values, then you have to use this kind of array.
Whether we can decrease the values, means instead of 10 we can give 8, means even though we have mentioned 10.
Yeah, you can give values, 8 values. Okay, suppose, so how I am going to store the values? So this is how I am going to store the values. Okay, so this is a variable name, square bracket. The index will start from 0. Array index will start from 0. That means if my size is 10, I have to start from the 0 and I have to continue till 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I have to press Alt. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, up to 9 only we have to give. Okay, so I'm going to copy these same values here also. I'm going to paste it. Okay, now at the 0th index, we'll call this as a index. I'm storing value 1. First index, I'm storing value 11. Second index, I'm storing value 12. 9th index, I'm storing value 19. There is no n. There is no n here. No, it is not available. Even though if you do that, the value will not be stored. Suppose what Vidya is asking? Vidya is asking, so I am giving only 4 values, 0, 1, 2, 3. So let me debug it. I am putting the and start debugging it. And let me execute it. Okay, I am debugging it. I am clicking F10, 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 F10. So now let me keep my cursor over it and see what are the values. So 1, 11, 12, 30. But all other values 0. So if you don't fill your data, then obviously you will have a value of 0. Okay, and you can skip some values. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. already you have stored all the. Now if you see your cursor, 7th index you have a value, but other values are 0. Okay, so if you don't want to fill, okay, you won't fill it, but don't expect that some default value has to be there. So this is the one way of storing. Are you clear with it?
Yes.
Any doubts?
Yeah, if sometimes the values are not known, means for example, number of students they don't know number
Yeah.
of students, then
That time
okay.
we should not use arrays.
Okay.
We have to go for the list.
Okay.
So it depends on your data, like how your data. Is it fixed? If it is fixed, you go for array. If it is not fixed, go for the list. If you have only one data, go for only integer. Don't go for the arrays. Like that.
Okay.
Okay. And nobody will prefer to do like this. This is the common approach of storing the values, but nobody does this approach. Why? If it is a 10 values means are you going to write it 10 times? Alright. So mostly we are going to fill this either by reading the text file or our NX open will return the array. At array directly will store the values. Nobody does this like this. So instead you can do for loop. You can write a for loop. Okay, I think why you didn't go for the snippet. Let me, yeah, snippet is here. Tab. Okay, so how many values totally? I have only okay. So I have allocated n, right? So I am giving n. That means it will start with 0 and it will start with 0 and it will end with 9, right? So this you have to copy. See this you should put it as I am making it as a dynamic values and put it semicolon, and here you can give whatever the value. Okay, so instead of 111 there should be one order, right? So I am giving just I plus 1. Just I plus 1 I am giving it. So this loop will continue for n times. So it will store the values. If there is a logic, okay, or if you want to increase, if you want to store like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like that, 50, up to 50, if you want to store it, you can do this approach. Okay, so we'll put a breakpoint here somewhere. Okay, let me go and see what is the value now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, 14. So first value will begin with a 0 plus 5, 5, and 1 plus 4, 5, 6, 7, like this it will continue. So this is how you will define it. This is how you will store the values. So one is called as a defining, one is a initializing an array. So initializing is, this is called initializing. That means we are allocating memory. This is called initializing. This is called assigning the values. We are assigning the values. So we are assigning the values. Okay. Everyone has got it or any doubts?
Yes, sir, got it.
Got it.
So the assigning of the assignment, the assigning the value, no need to use an array, always a for loop. Okay, you can use while loop or anything. Without this also, I can do different approaches also. Like, okay, so I will go for int square values equal to new of int. Okay, so you can mention now how many values. I will give as a 5, and you can give a lower bracket, and you can give values 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. See, exactly as soon as I gave these values, it gave, otherwise it gave error. See, it is giving error. Okay, so I am declaring it, I am giving a size, and I am mentioning it here. Okay, so this is another way of assigning values. I am defining it, and immediately I am assigning the values.
This is what you are mentioning list.
No. It
No.
is completely different. I will come to
Okay.
it later on. This is also an array. See here, we are mentioning square bracket. Square bracket means it's an array.
Okay.
Okay. So this is also fixed size. This is also fixed. You can't give. You cannot give more than 5 values. Okay. So this is a one approach. This is earlier I mentioned. This is another approach. Okay. So like that, there are multiple ways. All the ways here we have it. Okay. So you can write it in another way without mentioning this size. You can give the values. So based on the how many values you given, it will compute this size. Here you can give any number of values. Based on this, suppose there are 7 values are there here. By default it will assign 7 values, integer memory will be assigned. So if it is a 10 means, if I am declaring it as 10, so how many bytes of memory will be allocated? If it is a 1 integer value, how many bytes of memory will it take?
What sir?
Pardon?
40, sir?
Yes, exactly. So for one integer 4 bytes, so 10 values 40 bytes. Okay. So how those values will be stored in the hard disk? So while executing, it will store in a continuous memory. So that is why we are calling it as a sequential. It is a continuously. The values will be stored in a continuously. Okay. So this is when you are writing a complex programs and all, then you need this. You need to understand this, especially somebody who is developing C++ NX automation, like NX Open with C++. You need to understand all these concepts. In C#, okay, we know we need to bother, but in case of C++, we need to bother how the memory will take, how the memory will be stored, especially when you are handling data structures. Already I last week I discussed binary tree, edge tree, a quick sort, okay, a quick sort, edge sort, all these program data structures. You need to know how data will be stored, how data will be accessed. All these things will matter a lot to increase the performance. That is why whenever you are doing share market, especially ICICI Direct, Sharekhan, Zerodha, all those apps will use C++ because of the performance. Compared to C# and Java, C++ performance will be excellent. The speed will be very good. Okay, so compared to C#, Java, all Python, everything, if you compare, C++ is very fast. So that's why all financial matters, they will use C++, C++. So their memory data structures is very important. But now just listen, try to understand how it will store, that's enough. Okay, so that is why an array is a fixed size sequential collection of same data type. So if somebody asks a definition, you have to tell exact words. Any doubts? So wherever memory of 40 bytes is available, yeah. Any doubt?
So we can use any method, right? You told there are different methods to use arrays.
Yes.
Is
We can use anything. You can use
Or
anything.
is there anything
No.
like
There is
a
no
particular
restriction. There is no restriction based on how your data is available. See, the first approach, most usually used approach is this approach only.
Okay, sir.
These approaches mostly we don't use it. We don't use it because we don't have data in our hands. We don't hard code any of the data like this. We never hard code any of the data. Only
Yes.
very few places we hard code the data. Mostly we read the text file or we read the JSON file or we get the data from NX part file. So that is why I am explaining this.
Okay,
Means
sir.
if user already have some a set of list as a user input, then we can use that second and third what
Yes.
you are written, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like in Blockstyler, if we are giving any list, already defined list,
Yeah, exactly.
for example, pipe size or
Yes.
flange types like that.
Exactly. So here, suppose you want to mention something like, suppose, wait 1 second, my mission, yeah. Suppose I want to, in a Blockstyler, I want to display one drop down. Okay, I want to display one drop down. Like in the first drop down A and second drop down B, C, D. Like I'm just giving an example. Okay, it may be a cone or anything. You can mention it. Something I'm just giving. So this array, this variable you can use it in the Blockstyler like this, or else some other place you want to exempt. Suppose I have a NX features are there. I want to get only the atom planes which has a name ABC. I want to get atoms which has a name ABC or ABC, comma DEF, comma some XYZ. I want to get only these three. I want to get a datum plane which has a name only these three. That's scenarios you can declare this and you can use this checking while checking that names and all, you can use this. Okay. So like that we have multiple types of multiple ways of assigning the values. Multiple ways are there. We just go through it. Okay. I'm giving you a where it is available and everything I'm giving. So you just go through it. So how you can access that value? How you can access that value? That means how you can get that value. Okay. The same thing. You can get it like a string val final val equal to of 0. That's it. Very simple. So if you keep this value on the right side, then it is retrieving the value. If you put that value in the left side, we are storing the value. It's simple. Even by using a for loop also, you can get it. Okay, so everything example is available here. So here,
And sometimes we need to convert also, right? From string to integer.
yes,
The
everything you can do
input.
it. Suppose if you want to convert it to an integer, already you guys might have already seen it.
Mm.
You can put int dot or what is that? Into 32.
Parse.
Try parse. There are multiple ways are there. Okay, it's not that only one approach. Suppose into 64 try parse. There are multiple things are there. Okay, it's not that only one approach. It's C#, right? So there are multiple things are there. Okay, so you just go to Google it or use the ChatGPT and utilize it. Nowadays don't spend too much of time in writing. Only for interview purpose you have to learn. Okay, for your day-to-day activities and all, it's very easy now. It has become. Earlier and all, we used to go to Google and we used to find the right source of code, right example. We used to visit multiple sites to get the correct example. But now it has become very easy. We can ask the ChatGPT. No, I don't want this approach. I want a different approach which is very easy. You can get it. Okay, only the thing is you should have a ability to understand it. That is why we are struggling and we are learning. So this is the array. N is the array. We are storing n elements, and if you keep on the left side, we are assigning the values, and on the right side, we are retrieving the values. So it's very easy. You guys can practice this example so that you will be comfortable. Okay. And for each loop, have you aware of it? Like for each loop also is something like it's a suppose this is for storing. Retrieving alone you can use the for each loop. This is the snippet tab. Okay. So for each also is like a for loop only, but we don't need to mention I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. I don't need to mention. So I have an array here. I'm retrieving each element. Okay, I have a array here like a integer of n values. So this for each loop will pick each item from the box. Suppose array is you think that array is on box. So for each that means each item it will pick. So here if data type is an integer, you can write integer, so that this item is an integer. Or if you don't want to mention any integer, you put it as a var. Var means it can be an integer, it can be a string, it can be a bool. By default it will take it. Okay, so suppose, let me try this. So I want to put it as a var. Roll number. Var. No, it doesn't allow. Okay, reason is without knowing the data type, it cannot allocate the memory. Got it, right? So you have to mention the 1, 2, 3. I will mention only 3. But it's also not working. Okay? So because this will work first, but first it will allocate the memory, so it is not working. So but in our NX Open we can use var. I will tell you, except for the existing data types, I will tell you where to use var. Okay, as of now you remember that either you can give a integer here, or you don't want to mention, you can give it var. Var means it can be any data type, variable data type. Any doubts?
Yes, sir. What is the difference between for and for each loop?
Yes. So here we are mentioning what is the initial value, what is the, like here you have a control, like how many values. Suppose I want to pick only 5 values, you can pick it here. Okay, suppose I have a 10, I stored 10 values, but I want to pick only 2 elements, so I can go for the for loop. But for each loop means it will come all the elements, all 10 elements I am going to retrieve it. Got it?
Okay.
So here I am retrieving now, see, you can see I am retrieving only 5 elements only, okay, for storing or retrieving, whatever, okay. We can control it, how many values you want to store it, how many values you want to retrieve it, but here we don't have a control, and we need to bother about less than or greater than or all those things. So you can, this is the retrieving, right? So let me put it one statement so that if you will understand in a better way. Console dot write. I'm just putting it right, okay? You don't worry about it's a right or right line. See, so this is how we'll retrieve values using a for loop. This is how we'll retrieve the values using a for each. See how for each loop will be, how easy it is. See, this for loop is how difficult, but sometimes you can't use a for each loop. If I want to retrieve only from the 0 to 5, then you can't do that.
Means in for each, whatever number of memory we allocated, we need to utilize all the things.
All the values it will print. All the values will print. But here it will print only 5 values.
Okay.
Okay. So I think you guys have to practice it so that it will not be difficult. It will be very easy. Because sometimes I use only for each. I am very lazy to get each element. So I don't want to write it such a complicated. So I am getting very easily. Why to waste my energy? So I go for each. Unless there is a specific, like I want to increase the size, like I equal to I plus 5, I want to increment by 5 values. If you have any such conditions, you go for it. Otherwise, I don't have any restriction. I want to retrieve each and every item in the array. You go for the for each loop. Okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And sorting. So sorting of an array, it will be such an easy thing to sort an array. Okay, so either it's a string or array. So after storing your values, you take the array. Okay, you take this array dot sort. No, for that you have to add the one link. Yeah, I think we can call system, as long as it's system is added as an namespace, we can call it. Let me. Why it's not coming? No, my mouse is behaving odd. I think somewhere it is there. I think maybe you misses something, but usually it will work. If you add a system, oh no, array dot sort. Okay, array dot sort. You have to use array dot sort. Okay, so array dot sort. Okay, so you can give the array. You can give the array. It will sort. If you want to sort it by using a decreasing or increasing, like you can give the arguments. So you don't need to write a logic to sort it, but I will give you an assignment to sort it without using. You have to write your own logic to sort an array. Okay, so first you complete the assignments which I have given, and then I will ask you to write the your own logic for that. I think we have another 10 minutes, right? No worries. Okay, so this is a sort. Okay, reverse the sorting order, and you can copy the elements from one array to another array. Okay, so you can clone it. Okay, so by coming tomorrow, you just practice the small programs which are available here. If you have already completed the assignments, if not, first focus on the assignments and try to parallelly you go to the arrays also. As soon as I explain one topic, immediately you revise the topic immediately. Don't wait. Okay, and then you go for the whatever the assignments I given, so that you will you can remember the things easily. Okay. So there are some multiple things are there. Okay, you just go through it, and we have a multi-dimensional array, jagged arrays, pass arrays to a function, pass arrays to a class. All these things also required. Okay, you just go through it. Just go through it. Just go through the theory. Okay, just go through the randomly. So suppose when you want to store a matrices, you have to go for the multi-dimensional array. I have to give some more assignments actually, but you guys are still not completed the assignments, so I didn't give you. So I am going to give some more assignments also.